Blue Lock fact for next chapter. Isagi not scoring the final goal would be terrible writing. And as much as you all want to disagree with it, that's true. Now before y'all start typing, allow me to elaborate. Throughout the entirety of the PXG match, this whole thing has been centered around Isagi and Rin, both players trying to beat one another to determine who's number one. That being said, throughout the majority of this match, both Rin and Isagi have pushed each other to new heights that they could never have reached before, at least not with one another. Isagi using people like Kaiser in order to beat Rin, and Rin evolving his Destroyer aura, attaining Predator Eyes, so on and so forth. It's quite literally been a back and forth between the two. Also, narratively speaking, Isagi has been evolving himself time and time again before anybody else can, unlocking his so-called original ego, as well as figuring out that the fastest one to understand what's going on before anybody else is also a key. Not to mention, everyone on the field realizes that the only way they're doing what they're doing is because of Isagi. He's quite literally breathing life into that bastard Munchin team. In the case of Ness releasing himself from Kaiser's grasp isn't just a plot-based thing. Throughout this whole match, we have had people like Kaiser, Ukimiya, and now Ness release the part of them that has been holding them back in order to substantiate what they're doing now. All of this being because of the flow of the game and how Isagi is going about playing. Ness quite literally confirms earlier on in this match that Isagi's magic is something else, realizing that this is what Isagi is like and how he affects his other teammates. In the sense of Ness and Kaiser, Ness realizes that his king, aka Kaiser, is no longer needed, the same way Kaiser realized that about Ness. That being said, with Ness and his awakening, he's going to realize that the only person he can rely on now that even rivals Kaiser is Isagi. And on a more substantial level, this would also play a part in the ranking, also ending the so-called rivalry between Isagi and Rin, solidifying Isagi being the better one, at least in terms of ranking. And like I said before, Isagi is the only one to determine how this game is going to play out, evolving himself and the rest of his players based off of what he does, understanding the game to an extent that no one else can. Everything that has transpired in this game is because of Isagi. Again, Rin evolving even further than before. To further prove that point, we have Isagi using Kaiser in order to get to that point. And I'm sure even Kaiser realizes that's the case. Granted, he's going to try to go and score, but he knows that because Rin is there and how far he's evolved, that it's not that easy. Both of them, as it stands, realize that's the case. But in the grand scheme of things, anybody on Bastard Munchin scoring other than Isagi doesn't make sense.